My parents called me a burden for 5 years, while my brother was their Fortune 500 star, until his CEO showed up at our family dinner to personally fire him. I'm the older brother who failed at life. I dress in thrift store hoodies, drive a 2010 sedan, and stay in my room playing on the computer. My brother, Marcus, is the family god. He's a senior VP at EtherTech, wears $3,000 suits, and spends every holiday mocking my lack of ambition. While they were ignoring my existence, I was quietly acquiring distressed real estate and underwater tech patents through a series of anonymous holding companies. I spent years navigating high-stakes bankruptcy auctions and debt restructuring, eventually consolidating enough assets to execute a silent, hostile takeover of the very parent corporation that owns Marcus's firm. Last night, he invited the whole family to a luxury steakhouse to celebrate his imminent promotion to partner. Halfway through the meal, Marcus started a toast. He looked at me and said, "Maybe, if you weren't so lazy, you could afford to buy us a round of water, at least." My parents laughed, and my dad told me to just listen and learn how a real man provides. That's when my phone buzzed. It was an urgent code red from my head of operations. I typed 3 words. Do it now. 5 minutes later, Marcus's phone screamed. He looked at the screen and turned ghost white. He didn't get a promotion. He got a global termination notice. He started hyperventilating, screaming that it was a mistake and that he needed to call the owner of the parent company. My mother started crying, blaming jealous coworkers for sabotaging her golden boy. Marcus looked at me, shaking. The owner's name is unlisted, but he'd just CC'd me on a private note. I leaned back, took a sip of my tap water, and said, "Does the note say, 'Ambition is silent,' Marcus?" The whole table froze. I pulled out my laptop, the one they thought I used for gaming, and showed them the EtherTech internal dashboard. My name wasn't on the employee list. It was on the deed of incorporation. I paid for the $1,200 dinner with my corporate card and stood up. I looked at my dad and said, "You wanted me to learn how a real man provides?" I just provided Marcus with his first lesson in humility. I walked out feeling finally, perfectly full. For the first time in my life, I felt a deep, warm sense of fullness. The hollow ache of their rejection was finally replaced by the weight of my own worth. I walked out of that house feeling lighter and more complete than I ever thought possible.